If you've arrived here, know this, it wasn't by accident. Your soul is seeking something deeper, a truth that resonates beyond the surface. Before we dive into what lies ahead, let me take a moment to honor the incredible community that makes this journey possible. From the vibrant hearts of Africa to the diverse landscapes of the USA, India, England, Canada, and the Philippines, your energy fuels this mission. You matter more than words can express. If you feel called to connect, leave 888 in the comments and share where you're tuning in from. I'd love to personally acknowledge your presence. God said activate your dangerous powers, stay until the end to understand this message. Now lean in closely. If any part of our work has ever stirred your spirit or spoken directly to your heart, consider this your cosmic invitation to go further. By becoming part of our collective, you're not just supporting content, you're joining a transformative movement rooted in purpose. Every contribution flows directly toward rescuing and nurturing innocent lives, animals who have known neglect, abandonment, or silence. This isn't charity, it's alchemy. The love you give returns to you tenfold, creating ripples of healing for both giver and receiver. Together, we stand as guardians for those without voices, answering a sacred call that transcends the ordinary. Ancient wisdom whispers that those marked with symbols like the crescent moon carry divine favor, spiritual shielding, and an extraordinary potential for growth. Within each of us lies an untapped reservoir of divine strength, a power gifted not to merely survive but to thrive. We were never meant to live as victims of circumstance. True empowerment comes when we rise above worldly definitions of influence and step fully into our spiritual authority. When we awaken this inner force, we unlock the ability to shape our own destinies and uplift others along the way. This is your time. Will you answer the call? Life, at its core, is not a passive experience, it's an active engagement. If you've ever felt weighed down by doubt, fear, or despair, understand this. These emotions are not random occurrences but strategic assaults designed to keep you shackled. The enemy operates in shadows, whispering lies into your mind, convincing you that you're powerless, insignificant, or unworthy. But here's the truth: the moment you awaken to the reality of spiritual warfare, you step out of victimhood and onto the battlefield. You become a warrior. And warriors don't cower, they fight. This battle isn't fought with swords or shields but with faith, discernment, and intentionality. It begins when you recognize that every thought, emotion, and circumstance has a source. Some come from divine alignment, gifts meant to guide and uplift you. Others stem from opposition, crafted to derail your purpose. To win, you must first identify which is which. Ask yourself, is this thought mine? Does it align with my highest self? Or is it a weapon planted to distract me from my mission? Discernment is your first line of defense. One of the most insidious tactics employed by the adversary is the lie of powerlessness. Have you ever found yourself thinking, I'm not enough, that I'll never succeed, or what's the point? These aren't just fleeting doubts, they're carefully orchestrated attacks aimed at disarming you. When you believe you have no power, you stop fighting. You surrender before the war even begins. This is precisely what the enemy wants, for you to give up without realizing the immense strength within you. But let's be clear, your power doesn't originate from your circumstances, talents, or achievements. It comes from something far greater, your connection to the divine. You were created with inherent authority over darkness. The very breath in your lungs carries the essence of creation itself. So when those thoughts creep in, when the whispers tell you that you're too small, too weak, or too broken, remind yourself of who you truly are. A warrior. A victor. A beacon of light in a world desperate for hope. How you view life shapes how you live it. If you see challenges as mere obstacles, you'll spend your days dodging them, hoping they'll go away. But if you frame life as a battlefield, a sacred arena where victories are won through courage and resilience, you begin to approach each day differently. Challenges transform into opportunities. Setbacks become stepping stones. Every moment becomes a chance to grow stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your purpose. Consider this: soldiers don't enter combat unprepared. They train relentlessly, honing their skills and sharpening their tools. As spiritual warriors, we must do the same. Prayer, meditation, scripture, affirmations, these are our weapons. Community, mentorship, and accountability are our reinforcements. When you equip yourself with these resources, you shift from being reactive to proactive. Instead of waiting for battles to find you, you meet them head-on, armed with divine strategy and unwavering resolve. The enemy rarely announces its presence with fanfare. More often than not, it works subtly, planting seeds of confusion, fear, or division. One common sign of a spiritual attack is persistent negativity, a cloud of gloom that seems impossible to shake. Another is sudden chaos in areas of your life that were previously stable. Relationships may falter, finances may crumble, or health issues may arise seemingly out of nowhere. These disruptions aren't coincidences, they're calculated strikes designed to destabilize you. However, there's good news. Just as the enemy leaves clues, so does the divine. Peace, clarity, and moments of inexplicable joy are signs that you're walking in alignment with your higher purpose. Pay attention to these contrasts. When you notice patterns of disruption, pause and ask yourself, what is trying to pull me off course? What am I meant to learn or overcome right now? Awareness is the first step toward victory. Faith is both shield and sword in the realm of spiritual warfare. It protects you from the arrows of doubt while empowering you to push back against the forces of darkness. But faith isn't passive belief, it's active trust. It requires you to stand firm even when the winds of adversity howl around you. It demands that you declare your truth louder than the lies attempting to drown it out. When faced with overwhelming odds, remember this: faith moves mountains. Throughout history, countless individuals have triumphed against impossible circumstances because they refused to relinquish their faith. Their stories serve as reminders that no matter how dire things seem, divine intervention is always possible. Trust that the same power available to them is available to you. Speak life over your situation. Declare victory before you see evidence of it. Faith transforms possibilities into realities. Words carry energy. They shape reality. Think about it: every command given, every promise made, every declaration spoken sets forces into motion. In spiritual warfare, your words are among your most potent weapons. Negative speech, complaints, curses, or self-deprecating remarks feeds the enemy, giving it ammunition to use against you. Positive speech, affirmations, prayers, and declarations of truth starves it, cutting off its supply of fear and doubt. Make it a practice to guard your tongue. Refuse to speak words that undermine your worth or potential. Instead, flood your environment with declarations of faith, hope, and love. Say things like, I am divinely protected, my future is bright, and I walk in victory. Over time, these affirmations will rewire your mindset, replacing fear with confidence and uncertainty with assurance. Remember, what you say today shapes what you experience tomorrow. In any war, fortifications are essential. Without them, even the strongest warriors are vulnerable. Similarly, in spiritual warfare, protection comes from cultivating practices that strengthen your spirit and block negative influences. Start with prayer, it's your direct line to divine guidance and intervention. Make it a daily habit, not just in times of crisis but consistently, as a form of maintenance. Meditation is another powerful tool. By quieting your mind, you create space to hear the voice of truth amidst the noise of deception. Scripture, too, serves as armor, providing wisdom and encouragement tailored specifically for moments of struggle. Surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you, forming a community of support that reinforces your resolve. Together, these practices build an impenetrable fortress around your spirit, ensuring that no weapon formed against you will prosper. To defeat an opponent, you must understand their motives. The enemy's ultimate goal is simple yet devastating: to separate you from your divine purpose. It seeks to convince you that you're ordinary, limited, and incapable of greatness. It thrives on isolation, sowing discord between you and others, especially those who could help you fulfill your calling. It preys on fear, using it to paralyze you and prevent you from taking bold steps forward. But here's the secret: the enemy knows it cannot destroy you outright. Its only option is to deceive you into destroying yourself. That's why awareness is so crucial. When you recognize the tactics being used against you, you rob them of their power. You take back control of your narrative. You reclaim your destiny. At the heart of spiritual warfare lies identity. Who you believe yourself to be determines how you show up in the world. Too often, believers underestimate their role, seeing themselves as passive recipients of grace rather than active participants in a cosmic battle. But the truth is, you are a warrior. Not because of anything you've done, but because of who you are, a child of the Most High, imbued with divine authority. The universe does not reward passivity. Faith alone, though powerful, remains dormant without corresponding deeds. It is through intentional engagement, prayer, obedience, and unwavering faith that the latent potential within these marks awakens. When activated, the crescent moon becomes a conduit of divine illumination, guiding you through darkness and revealing hidden truths. The letter Gem, symbolic of mastery and mission, amplifies your ability to fulfill your purpose with precision and authority. Together, they form a sacred blueprint for transformation, but only if you choose to activate them. Faith is the foundation, but action is the catalyst. Without movement, even the strongest beliefs remain stagnant. Consider this analogy: a seed holds immense potential, capable of growing into a towering tree. Yet, left untouched in its packet, it will never sprout. Similarly, the power embedded within the crescent moon and the letter Gem demands cultivation. Prayer plants the seed, obedience waters it, and faith ensures it grows under divine sunlight. This principle applies universally. Imagine someone claiming to believe in their ability to heal yet refusing to extend their hands to those in need. Or another professing trust in divine provision while neglecting opportunities to give generously. Such contradictions render faith ineffective. To truly harness the power of your markings, you must align your actions with your convictions. Every prayer prayed, every command obeyed, and every act of faith propels you closer to the manifestation of God's promises in your life. Prayer is more than communication, it's communion. For those chosen bearing them, the prayer serves as the gateway to unlocking their divine inheritance. Through prayer, you establish a direct connection with the source of all power, inviting guidance, protection, and empowerment into your life. But effective prayer isn't merely reciting words, it's engaging in heartfelt dialogue with intentionality. Begin by acknowledging your identity as a marked individual. Declare aloud, I am divinely favored. I am spiritually protected. I possess the capacity for elevation. Then, ask for clarity regarding your purpose. Request wisdom to discern the next steps and courage to take them boldly. Finally, thank the divine for hearing and answering your prayers before you see evidence of change. Gratitude accelerates manifestation, transforming anticipation into reality. Make prayer a non-negotiable practice, dedicating time each day to nurture this sacred relationship. Obedience is often misunderstood as submission or restriction. In truth, it's liberation. When you align your will with divine purpose, you step into alignment with the flow of universal energy. Resistance fades, replaced by harmony and ease. Obedience is particularly crucial. It activates the authority inherent in your calling, enabling you to operate at peak spiritual efficiency. What does obedience look like? It begins with listening, tuning into the still, small voice that guides your path. Trust what you hear, even when logic suggests otherwise. Next, follow through on instructions, no matter how daunting they may seem. Whether it's forgiving someone who wronged you, stepping out of your comfort zone to pursue a dream, or simply showing kindness to a stranger, every act of obedience strengthens your connection to the divine. Remember, the enemy fears obedient warriors because they embody unstoppable force. Faith is the engine that drives the vehicle of manifestation. Without it, even the most meticulously planned actions stall. For chosen, faith operates on two levels: belief in divine capability and confidence in personal worthiness. Both are essential for activation. To strengthen your faith, immerse yourself in teachings that reinforce your divine identity. Study scriptures, listen to messages from trusted mentors, and surround yourself with affirmations that remind you of your greatness. Visualize success as though it has already occurred, feeling the emotions associated with achievement. Doubts will arise, they always do, but don't allow them to derail you. Instead, treat them as tests designed to refine your resolve. Each time you overcome doubt, your faith grows stronger, bringing you one step closer to realizing your full potential. Once activated, the crescent moon and the letter Gamma grant access to unprecedented levels of authority. This authority isn't meant to be hoarded, it's intended to be exercised. Use it to dismantle strongholds, break chains, and usher in breakthroughs not just for yourself but for others as well. As a marked individual, you are called to be a light in the darkness, a beacon of hope for those lost in despair. How do you walk in authority? Start by speaking life over every situation. Replace fear-based language with declarations of victory. Command obstacles to dissolve, sickness to flee, and lack to transform into abundance. Back up your words with consistent action, demonstrating that you mean what you say. Over time, people will notice the shift in your energy and gravitate toward it. They'll seek your counsel, draw strength from your example, and benefit from your intercession. In doing so, you fulfill your role as a divine ambassador. One of the unique privileges and responsibilities are the patterns of dysfunction, passed down through families, often manifest as poverty, illness, addiction, or relational strife. Left unchecked, they perpetuate cycles of suffering. However, marked individuals possess the tools necessary to sever these ties permanently. Breaking generational curses requires a combination of repentance, renunciation, and reprogramming. Begin by identifying negative patterns in your family history. Acknowledge their impact, then release them through prayer. Speak directly to the spirits responsible, commanding them to leave in the name of the divine. Once freed, replace old narratives with new ones rooted in love, prosperity, and wholeness. Teach future generations about their divine heritage, equipping them to carry the torch forward. By doing so, you ensure lasting freedom for your lineage. No journey of activation is without challenges. Those chosen ones face intensified opposition precisely because of their elevated status. Adversaries recognize the threat posed by awakened warriors and redouble their efforts to hinder progress. During such times, remember this: trials aren't punishments, they're preparations. Each challenge presents an opportunity to deepen your faith, sharpen your skills, and expand your capacity. View setbacks as lessons rather than failures. Ask yourself, what is this teaching me? How can I grow stronger through this experience? Lean into your support system, drawing strength from fellow believers who understand your calling. Above all, maintain perspective. Even the fiercest storms eventually subside, giving way to clear skies and renewed purpose. The activation of the crescent moon and the letter Gamma culminates in mission fulfillment. You were marked not for selfish gain but for service. Your gifts exist to bless humanity, addressing needs that only you can meet. Whether through leadership, creativity, healing, or advocacy, your contributions ripple outward, touching lives far beyond your immediate circle. As you step fully into your role, focus on leaving a legacy of impact. Build bridges where walls once stood. Restore hope where despair took root. Champion causes that reflect divine values of justice, compassion, and equality. Let your life serve as a testament to the transformative power of faith in action. When your story is written, let it inspire others to awaken to their own divine callings. Fear is more than an emotion, it's a spiritual chain forged in the fires of doubt and uncertainty. It wraps itself around your mind, heart, and spirit, binding you to limitations that exist only in the realm of illusion. For chosen, fear poses a particularly insidious threat. Why? Because it seeks to neutralize your divine authority, convincing you that you're powerless against the very forces you were created to overcome. But here's the truth: fear has no substance unless you give it power. It thrives on your hesitation, feeding off every second you spend paralyzed by its grip. Yet, when confronted directly, fear dissolves like mist under the morning sun. Breaking free from its chains isn't just a suggestion, it's a necessity. Without liberation from fear, you cannot step fully into your calling or fulfill the destiny etched into your soul. To grow spiritually, you must first dismantle this invisible prison. To defeat an enemy, you must understand its tactics. Fear is the adversary's weapon of choice because it attacks at the core of who you are. It whispers lies about your inadequacy, amplifies perceived threats, and magnifies potential risks until they seem insurmountable. Its goal is simple: to keep you stuck, small, and silent. Consider the areas of your life where fear currently holds sway. Are you afraid to speak up for yourself? Hesitant to pursue a dream? Reluctant to trust others or take bold steps forward? These fears aren't random, they're strategic assaults designed to derail your purpose. By recognizing them as such, you strip fear of its ability to deceive you. You begin to see it not as an immovable wall but as a fragile barrier waiting to be shattered. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's the decision to act despite it. For believers, courage is both a gift and a discipline, a divine endowment cultivated through practice. When you choose to face your fears head-on, you declare war on the forces that seek to hold you captive. Each act of bravery weakens the chains binding you, inching you closer to freedom. Start small if you must. Speak when silence feels safer. Take one step toward a goal that intimidates you. Extend forgiveness to someone who hurt you. Every victory over fear, no matter how minor it seems, builds momentum. Over time, these incremental acts of courage compound, transforming you into a warrior unshakable in your resolve. Remember, even giants fall when faced with relentless determination. Not all fears look the same. Some manifest as anxiety about the future, while others disguise themselves as self-doubt or perfectionism. To break their hold, you must first identify them. Take inventory of the fears influencing your thoughts and actions. Ask yourself, what am I avoiding? What situations make me feel uneasy or overwhelmed? Where do I feel powerless or out of control? Be honest with yourself. Write down your answers without judgment. This process isn't about shame, it's about clarity. Once you name your fears, you diminish their power. Naming is the first step toward reclaiming dominion over your mind and spirit. Faith and fear cannot coexist. They are opposing forces vying for dominance within you. When faith prevails, fear retreats. But when fear takes root, faith falters. As someone marked by divine favor, you possess an inherent advantage in this battle. Your faith is not merely belief, it's a tangible force capable of dismantling any obstacle. Strengthen your faith by immersing yourself in teachings that affirm your identity and purpose. Surround yourself with reminders of God's promises, scriptures, affirmations, and testimonies of others who have triumphed over fear. Visualize yourself standing victorious, unencumbered by the chains that once bound you. Feel the peace that comes with knowing you are divinely protected. Faith fuels courage and courage breaks chains. Use your words as weapons. Speak aloud declarations such as, I am fearless because I am divinely shielded, or fear has no place in my life. Words carry creative power, use them wisely. Visualize freedom, close your eyes and imagine yourself untethered from fear. Picture yourself stepping boldly into opportunities, speaking confidently, and embracing challenges with ease. Visualization primes your subconscious for success. Growth happens outside your comfort zone. Push yourself to try new things even if they scare you. Each risk taken reinforces your belief in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. Seek accountability, share your struggles with trusted friends or mentors who can encourage and support you. Sometimes, simply voicing your fears diminishes their intensity. Protect your mind, guard what you consume: media, conversations, and thoughts. Replace negativity with positivity, focusing on content that uplifts and empowers you. When you break free from fear, the impact extends far beyond your personal experience. Your transformation inspires others to confront their own chains. Imagine a world where fear no longer dictates decisions, a world where people live authentically, pursue dreams boldly, and love unconditionally. Such a reality begins with individuals like you choosing to rise above fear's grasp. Think about the legacy you want to leave behind. Do you wish to be remembered as someone who allowed fear to dictate their life, or as someone who defied it and inspired others to do the same? The choice is yours. By breaking your chains, you pave the way for collective liberation, fulfilling your role as a beacon of hope and change. One of the greatest misconceptions about overcoming fear is that it requires invulnerability. In truth, vulnerability is a source of immense strength. When you admit your fears instead of hiding them, you disarm their power. Vulnerability fosters connection, inviting others to join you in your journey toward freedom. Don't shy away from sharing your story. Talk about the moments when fear almost won and how you chose to fight back. Celebrate your victories, no matter how small. By doing so, you create a culture of authenticity and resilience, empowering others to embrace their own battles with courage. It's important to distinguish between fear and intuition. While fear paralyzes, intuition guides. Both may present as gut feelings, but their origins differ. Fear stems from doubt and insecurity, while intuition arises from divine wisdom. Developing discernment helps you navigate life with confidence, ensuring that you respond appropriately to each situation. Practice tuning into your inner voice. Ask yourself, is this feeling rooted in fear or insight? If it's fear, challenge it. If it's intuition, follow it. Over time, you'll become adept at distinguishing between the two, allowing you to move forward with clarity and purpose. Once you've broken the chains of fear, you enter a new paradigm, one defined by freedom, possibility, and limitless potential. Life ceases to be a series of obstacles to avoid and becomes an adventure to embrace. Challenges no longer intimidate you, they excite you. Opportunities once dismissed as too risky now appear as invitations to grow. Living beyond fear doesn't mean you'll never feel afraid again. It means you'll no longer let fear dictate your choices. You'll approach life with a sense of curiosity and wonder, trusting that you are equipped to handle whatever comes your way. This shift transforms not only your perspective but also your reality. Breaking free from fear isn't a one-time event, it's an ongoing process. Even after achieving significant victories, remnants of fear may attempt to resurface. Stay vigilant. Recognize these attempts for what they are: desperate efforts to regain control. Refuse to entertain them. Maintain practices that reinforce your freedom. Surround yourself with positive influences that remind you of your strength. Above all, remain steadfast in your commitment to living fearlessly. A warrior's resolve ensures lasting victory.